Now, one thing to consider with your filtration is what's called contact time. The media that you use in your filter is going to work optimally with a certain contact time, and depending on the filters that you buy, it is actually possible that if the filter runs too fast, it actually reduces the contact time and therefore reduces the efficiency of the filter media itself, because the filter is a reactor and there needs time for the reactions to occur, whether they be biological, chemical or whatever. So a lot of canister filters, such as your Eheims, there's a lot of research that goes into their contact time. So therefore, for a large canister like this, it's got a particular amount of water flowing through it, where they've actually researched to find out how much water should they pump through it in order to maximize the contact time for the biological media that they suggest to go inside it. There are various cheaper filters on the market now that sell themselves on their high flow rates, but the high flow rates can actually be an irrelevant argument, because a higher flow rate can mean less contact time and potentially less efficient filter. So that all comes down to how well researched the brand is. So once again, your better quality brands that actually spend money on research and development, such as your Eheims, that's really one of the major advantages that they have over the cheaper competition. So that absolutely has been the case. I've put Eheim filters on aquariums which have got, let's say, 1,000 litres an hour flow, for example, and then that's been replaced with a canister of a similar physical size, but it might be pumping massively more, and I've actually seen I've seen a worse result. So if you wanted to have an example, I would definitely use Eheim as the example, because they're probably one of the most sort of well-respected and researched products on the market. Now, also with your sump filters, you don't want a massive amount of water going through your sump if you can help it. So with this sort of style where you're literally pumping the water down through the media, because it's spread over such a large surface area, then your contact time is usually okay, but that doesn't mean that you want to run all the water through the media sort of 15 or 20 times an hour. So what I'll usually recommend is that you will run one pump that's going to run the sump, and I'll probably want around 6 times an hour, and then I'll make up the rest of the water flow via something like a power head, which is going to give good surface agitation and good water flow in the aquarium. So I will usually have one pump to run my filter, and that usually won't be a mega powerful one, and then I'll have another one just to turn over water. Also remember too that with a lot of the canister filters and things that you buy, the ratings can be irrelevant, because if you buy a cheaper canister and it says it's pumping 2,000 litres an hour, but that's actually just the pump with 0 head, by the time you look at media, and potentially dirty media, and potentially like 1.5 meters or 1 meter of head, the filter's actually pumping nowhere near the advertised rate. Whereas something like an Eheim, they advertise the rate that the aquarium pumps on a standard height aquarium with standard filter media in it. So obviously as the filter gets dirtier, the filter flow is going to reduce. As the magnet gets dirtier, the filter flow is going to reduce. That's why regular maintenance is important. You want to make sure you're cleaning the impeller at least once every few months, and the housing inside the impeller, and want to make sure that you're cleaning the filter preferably monthly in water from the fish tank. And if you do use media such as polyfilter that cling particles instead of trap them, then that will also help stop a reduction in the flow of your actual filter. So the main point I'm trying to make is more powerful is not necessarily more effective.